My name is Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. I deliver lectures in computing and informatics. In our last lesson, we discussed about the nested for loop, and we have seen that a nested for loop actually it is a for loop inside the body of another for loop, and basically we have seen that actually the inner loop will execute until it becomes a false before the upper loop actually execute to another iteration. So today we are going to take up into another new journey whereby we are going to ask ourselves what is actually the Java for each loop, and in that particular journey we are going to look at the definition, the syntax and implementation in Eclipse IDE. So let us start and see actually what actually it is a Java for each loop. Basically a for each loop sometimes also it is known to be what you call an advanced for loop. So sometimes it's called up an advanced for loop, and also it might be called sometimes an enhanced for loop. So these are the names actually, or it is called what you call an enhanced for loop. So these are the names actually that can be used for them. So what does it do? Actually it traverses through an array collection element. So basically its function, it functions by traversing, going through each and every element of an array. So that's what actually it does, and does not need an incrementer or a decrementer like a for loop, and that is why it is called an advanced for loop. And also it works on an element and not on an index, because we know that arrays actually work on an index. So this one does not work on an index, but it works on each element one by one. So that is what actually we are talking about, the for each loop. So this particular for each loop, so let's go to the second part of it, what basically it is a syntax. So the syntax is very simple. The syntax, first of all, we are writing up the word for, it's a keyword. Then we have got the data type, and then we have here the variable name. So here we have got up a variable name, and then you'll have full colon, and then we have got the array name. Then opening and closing curly bracket, and here we can have a statement. But how can we represent this actually into what we call a DFD? So if we have got our start here, basically, and then here we have got up our array elements. So these are our array elements, and if these particular array elements they are actually there, that is actually they exist, as much as they exist, the elements, as much as it is not empty, it will go and pick up each and every element on that particular area and iterate until it becomes up empty. When it becomes up empty, it becomes up false, and then actually it exits or it ends that particular array. So let's take up an example to show how it works. So basically here we can have, let's take for example an array, so of type integer, so that is type integer, so we call it maybe an array, and that particular array basically maybe it'll have some values 1, 2, 3 and 4. So those are the values of an array. And then here, how can we write up our for each? So we'll have 4, and then we have to declare a data type or a variable. There should be the same type of the array. So we'll have up an int I maybe, and then we'll have what here we are calling up a full colon, and then here we'll have up an array. So that basically it will be up our syntax. So each and every element which is actually taken up here is going to actually be stored into I. So as we iterate through each and every element using up the for loop, is going to actually taken up into I. So here you can put up our system.out.println, and then what we want to print, actually we are printing up our I and maybe plus an empty space, and that but not empty space, maybe we are printing up our comma. So basically that it will actually take it up onto that particular key. So let us see actually how it works. How will it work? Actually, it will go through this particular statement will go through this particular array. It will go up to 1, and that particular 1 is going to be stored into I, and then goes to 2, that particular 2 is going to be stored into I, goes to 3, that 3 is going to be stored into I, and go to 4 and stored into I. So whenever it is stored into I in one round, it's going to print up 1. That is the first iteration. Second iteration is going to print I plus a comma. Second iteration is going to print 2 plus a comma. Third iteration it is 3 plus a comma, and the fourth iteration it is 4 plus a comma. So this is our expected output we are going to see. So let's go to Eclipse IDE and implement the same and see actually if you can get up the same output. So here we are. So here we are declaring up our array called array. Our array, will call it array, and then we are giving it up actually values, and these particular values may be the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are our values for this particular array. So and each statement of an array must be actually terminated. So let's terminate that particular statement of an array. So we terminate that particular statement and have it on that particular area. So that is an array. The second part of it, now we are putting up our for statement. So that will be for, this is a for each statement. So we are declaring up a variable called I, and we have put a full colon, and where do we want to iterate? We want to iterate onto our array. So we'll have up our array there, and basically how now we want to do, just very simple and very straightforward. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed just to print system dot out dot println. So we are going to print ln, and then what are we printing? Basically we are printing up our I because it's the one that stores up everything, and then here we are saying plus what? Plus actually our comma. So that's a very simple and very straightforward program, and we have seen actually it is an improved or an enhanced for loop. We don't have any incrimination. We don't have as in our simple for loop whereby we have got initialization, condition, and incrementation. So we have got only two condition to take up inside there. So let us run this particular program and see what is the output. Basically, we are seeing up actually the output is equal to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we have put up a ln, that is why we are seeing it actually in what you call diagonal. So if you take it out ln and print up again, so we print up again, actually it gives us 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that was an output onto that particular area. So basically what we have done here, we have demonstrated actually how actually the enhance or advanced for each loop actually works, and that comes up to the end of this particular session until on to our next session, whereby we are going to talk about the label for loop. For now, I say bye.